Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen Alpha 3.18 on the PTU. We've had a Y and Z PTU patch recently, so I wanted to go over the updates and fixes for those patches and talk about the state of the PTU. As far as we are aware, Alpha 3.18 is still pegged for live release by the end of January. That said, we still don't have an open PTU. That could literally be any time now, though. Oh, something else majorly I want to talk about are some of the ballistic weapon changes that they've put into the patch as well. So Star Citizen Alpha 3.18.0Y on the PTU changed a few things and did some bug fixes. Vehicle and ship armor has been rebalanced to account for ballistics piercing through shields as a stopgap until the future armor rework, and they've made further optimizations to help with slow inventory. So what are those ballistic changes? Well, in a separate post we saw, as of this build, armor on ships now grant 50% physical resistance, increasing ship durability against incoming ballistic fire. We see this as a short-term change pending some further updates down the road and recognise we have more to do to get ballistics into a desirable state. As part of that, we would like to get your thoughts not only on how this change impacts the current situation, but also on how you see ballistics fitting into flight and combat mechanics and the context of the game longer term. As always, thanks for the input. We pass everything on to the teams. So, this is a weird one for me because, yes, I like the idea of a level of resistance with a ship's armor when it comes to ballistic fire and all different types of damage. And yeah, armor is probably going to be pretty good against ballistics is the way I would probably see it, but it needs to be different based on the ship. Larger ships typically having heavier armor, light fighters having only a little, small cargo ships having even less. A straight 50% for all ships isn't really great. But if it means that ballistics aren't broken in the short term, then that's fine, at least if it addresses that a little. So armor, in my opinion, should nullify or mitigate a set amount of damage per shot. So if you're having lots of little tiny bullets, pew, 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 armor's going to be really effective against that compared to one heavy, large, boom, sort of cannon shot. I'm really interested to know what people are thinking about ballistics and how they'd like it to work in-game as well. Bug fix-wise, let's have a look at this patch. Cry Astro services now allow for repair, refuel, and restocking of ships, which is good. The VMA, the Vehicle Manager app active tab indicator became offset, and that's now fixed as well. The window glow in cities was too strong and too frequent in Area 18. Delivery missions weren't updating after grabbing packages. Mining lasers are displayed in the wrong tab and prevented players from equipping or using mining lasers previously. The 400i had paints not working. Equip requests in your inventory could fail to update. Player customizations to vehicles were permanently lost and reset if a ship was claimed. Users were able to get out of prison instantly after a character reset or repair. Impounded ships did not finish transferring to storage and were then no longer retrievable. The ROC's inventory filled up past the intended capacity. When saving changes to vehicle loadouts, the unsaved changes or changes pending marker would not be removed until the player revisited that ship loadout. The infiltrate and defend missions, they had some issues where the enemy UI counter was not present when reaching the actual mission area. The Colma Ray repair missions failed to generate properly. There were issues with metals and minerals being listed as inert on the refinery terminals. Players and AI were able to shoot through rock formations on various areas. Reclaimers had no rear elevator interaction. Various ships are now salvageable, where they're supposed to be. There was lots of problems with that previously. Items on Kasaba and Cubby Blast shelves could be picked up and carried away without paying. Bloody thieves! They fixed 7 clients and 11 server crashes as well. There were a few more bug fixes with the 3.18.0Z PTU patch. Players were unable to respawn and got stuck on splash screens. That's been fixed. The in-game console had scaling issues on non-16:9 aspect ratio monitors. The player would suffocate with the helmet on, which was annoying. Various collision and vis area issues were fixed at a number of locations. Quantum entanglement did not mark ships as hostile. Not all cargo boxes were spawning in for players to retrieve them from missions. Vehicles that were purchased through the rental kiosks were missing from ASOP terminals, so that would, prevent people actually using them. Sell options on items were still present after selling at the contraband kiosk, so you could sort of keep on selling them. The Tumbrel Nova, most of the vehicle couldn't be salvaged or damaged. There was problems with mining lasers, where if you adjusted their power on the MFD, that only increased the laser sort of VFX rather than the actual laser intensity, and they fixed an additional 3 client crashes. Now, there are still some remaining known issues for 3.18. However, they've been plowing through that list of known issues, and they've actually got it into a relatively good state now, the patch. I haven't played for hours and hours or anything, so I don't know about stability, and there could be a load of other underlying issues that I'm not aware of, but yes, they've reduced that remaining known issues list down to only a dozen now or so. The Constellation snub fighters lack interactions, so they can't be used when docked. Any full salvage RMC canisters can't be attached to a multi-tool. Equipped gear could be lost when players die in an armistice zone. Scanning's not showing advanced statistics. Elevators and trams are jittery. There are some issues with salvaging parts of some ships. Once a mission has been completed at AI settlements, they don't actually respawn in a timely manner, those NPCs, for the next mission, resulting in it sort of being completed when someone else turns up. Reinforcements don't leave ships, but they still count towards the total hostiles remaining in an area. Valkyrie bottom turrets can lock and makes the player invisible. Bounties can persist even after the target has cleared their crime stat. Destroyed ship thrusters will not function even after being repaired. A fully loaded C2 Hercules landed at Area 18 results in very slow frame rates or crashes for some players. When flying near another ship, ships seem to hit an invisible box that sort of kicks them in a random direction. Users spawn in prison with weapons and armor after dying with a crime stat. Cargo is invisible in multiple ships, and storing ships at non-home locations can result in them being in the state of transferring to storage just sort of permanently. So yeah, 3.18 is in reasonably good state. They are really, really getting through those remaining known issues. They'll probably want to get through a couple more Monday and maybe Tuesday of this week coming, and I would expect an open PTU very shortly. Boom! That's it for your updates on Alpha 3.18 for this weekend. Yes, as I said, the plan is still to have 3.18 live by the end of January currently. That could obviously change, but I'm really interested to know what you think. Do you think Cloud Imperium can hit 3.18 live by the end of this month, or will it be early February? Or is it just literally going to depend on the amount of blockers and if they have issues with the patch? What do you think of the ballistic changes? They sort of went, actually, shields, they just let most ballistic sort of damage pass through them now, almost all of it. But now we're going to mitigate a load of that with ship armor, which is 50% straight on all ships. That seems a bit weird, right? What do you think the solution for ballistics should be moving forward? Or what do you think is a good idea for ballistics, I should really say? Are you playing in StarEngine now for 3.18 Wave 1 PTU? What have you thought about the changes that they've made over the last couple of iterations? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. It's a new year, time for resolutions, a brighter future. I'll make myself better each day. Or I could just stay at home and play computer games. But what if someone steals my house or bank while I'm otherwise preoccupied on the internet? NordVPN.com/BoredGamer. It's probably the best VPN deal of 2023 already. Not only does it provide security, anonymity, and accessibility on the interwebs, but I haven't heard of anyone with NordVPN having their house stolen. Thanks, NordVPN. Now no one will know what type of degenerate anime I watch. Get NordVPN, you filthy animal. You deserve it. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For January, we are giving away an Argo Raft, the reinforced advanced freight transport ship. A dedicated cargo hauler that should see some additional gameplay in 2023. This also comes with a Star Citizen game package and lifetime insurance. All you need to do to be in for a chance of winning that is comment on any of my videos made during the month. More details in the description below. If you'd like to further support the channel, then please consider becoming a YouTube member with the join button under my videos. You could even become a Patreon. There's links below to that. But liking, subscribing, commenting goes a huge way to help the channel grow. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the verse.